But you can switch up your green CP if you really need to as the off tank, but generally speaking, the green CP should be pretty similar to the main tank as an off tank. So just to clear up any misunderstandings with a two-hander armor shatter for trash, it's not, how should I say this? Basically, if you dodge roll the armor shatter successfully as the off tank during trash fights, you don't, the armor shatter effect will not affect the group. It is based on proximity, but it's not like a cone or anything. It's actually a circular area around the two-hander ad. So if you do get shattered, if you mistime your dodge roll or whatever, and then you get shattered, people close to that ad will get shattered, if that makes any sense. Now, I know a lot of progression groups and a lot of off tanks pull the two-hander away and just sort of take the shatter and block away from the group so people don't get shattered, but that's a pretty poor way of doing things. As you guys saw from the last run where Atmos was, successfully stacking the two-hander, it was dying pretty fast. Again, general principle of ESO, the faster things die, the safer it is.
And it seemed like it was a lot easier to control.
Yeah.
Having two tanks involved rather than one tank off in a corner with the two-hander and the other tank trying to manage everything else on their own.
For sure. It's a lot cleaner, a lot faster, safer, if your off tank can do it. Obviously, if your off tank can't do it, it's fine, because that gives your off tank practice. I know a lot of groups, they give off tanks like 2 or 3 tries in some runs, and they're like, okay, you can't do it, fuck you, stop doing it. But that's pretty bad, because it took me quite a while. It took a lot of the other good off tanks I know a little bit of time to get used to it, so I think practice is needed. I think people need to get shattered, even if it's a bit irritating. I think we're just waiting on 2 more people to get on the entrance door. Also, there's a trick to it as well. If you dodge roll away from the two-hander, it might cause its animation of shattering you short, which means it'll try to shatter you again immediately after. So you always kind of want to dodge roll either sideways or forward when you're dodge rolling the shatter. And I'll show you guys what I mean here pretty soon once people get on the door. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, like Admin said in group chat, he says, I stand right on him and dodge roll through him so he doesn't move. That's a pretty good tip. Okay, we're gonna start. Okay, we're just starting Kodiak. Whatever.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Alright, field trip is starting again. We're gonna chain in the ranged ends. We may have to chain in melee ends because they are pretty slow. Now we're gonna flip the roles compared to last run. We're gonna bring the archer in instead of stacking the Sun Eater or the Sword and Board on the Sun Eater. As you can see, that spot's pretty nice. That's pretty interesting to gate. but yeah, as you can see, this spot was pretty nice to stack the archer on. So you immediately want to taunt the archer, and then you wanna go to that spot to stack the archer. Now here, I'm going to tell Atmos, hey Atmos, you stack the archers up there and I'll take the sword and board. Again, communication is key. And Atmos will take care of the archers on the next pole, and I'll take care of the sword and board and the two-hander on the next pole. Just to stack melee on melee, instead of waiting for the melee to come back as a tank. Okay, kill the Sun Eater goose. And we're going to taunt the Savage, which is a two-hander. We're going to keep a close eye on it over here. And you dodge roll forward, and you don't get shattered. Now, if you're on console, you don't have add-ons or whatever, but it's okay. You just gotta really look carefully. And then he only shatters once every 10 seconds. So you have this internal timer in mind. Before Rain Notifier, or before this add-on, I also have to keep an internal timer in my head, like, okay, he's going to shatter in another 5 seconds or something, so it's a pretty interesting thing. And always just completely focus on the two-hander when you're dodge rolling the shatters.
Is the animation different from his normal attack versus the shatter attack?
Yes, he lifts the maw over his head, sort of like you're golfing. Well, actually not golfing. What the fuck? What kind of sport is this?
More like chopping wood.
Yeah, chopping wood. There you go. That's a sport, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. You start dodge rolling the moment he sort of starts swinging it over his head. But you don't want to dodge roll backwards because it cancels out his animation. And he's going to do it again. It puts you off. It interrupts the flow of combat. And here again, communication is very, very important between the tanks.
Tank curse.
Taking it. Good. Now, some groups prefer a tank to always have it, but it kind of messes up the taunts a bit, and you may end up over-taunting the boss. And over-taunting, just a quick overview, is when 3 taunts from 2 different sources go off within 12 seconds. And then the next taunt's not going to be... It's just going to go berserk. The boss is just going to lose control. You don't want that. And that's why we're taunting off of cooldown, as you can see on my screen, rather than taunting him at like 10 seconds in, or 2 seconds in. We have 3 pillars up. You have your armor shatter when he smashes you like that. You don't want to let go of block for now, until he stops attacking you. You guys can start stacking. It's gonna be hide soon. You're just gonna hide. I'm gonna show you an interesting trick here. I'm gonna dodge roll out, and then he's not gonna move. There's a certain timing to it. I can't really explain how many seconds. Probably you can if you go over a video or something. But you do that to not let him move. Him not moving is really important for group DPS. So last run he kind of moved a bit, which did interrupt our DPS. As you can see on this run, DPS is a bit higher, and also we do have the advantage of him just staying in one place for the entire fight. So it's really important. And there we go.
It's because Kodiak is DPSing now.
Yeah, sure. Alright, I'm gonna skip blue. I don't know why I popped that potion. And as the off tank, you want to go proc the next wave. If people are following you, they don't know what you're doing, but ignore them. You proc the next wave, you don't pull it. The main tank pulls this add wave right here. And you want to leave everything except the 2-hander on the next wave to the main tank as the off tank. And here we're going to taunt the 2-hander. Then we're going to stack it over here where the archer will be, or archers will be. You do have the option of stacking on the Sun Eater, but if you're not confident in dodge rolling the shatters yet, you can take it over here. And here you go. Then we're gonna taunt in the Shaman. And then we're gonna pretty much... Okay, that's... Sorry, I was talking. We were shattered, so that's pretty bad. You want to tell you're good to block in case the sword and board spins. Which is not... Okay, there we go. Alright, that wasn't very ideal, but you guys get the general idea. And for this, you do have the option of pulling both the sword and board and the 2-hander. Last time as the main tank I did the archer and the sword and board. But it's really up to the tanks which one you want to take. And you want to go down this hill as fast as possible to proc the next wave. With your hard taunt still on Savage, or the 2-hander, you want to make sure you get this Shaman. And there you go, you get the armor shatter, you bait it out, you have another 6 seconds until he does a shatter again. You want to make sure you distance the Shaman, shatter soon. And there you go. Obviously I'm dodge rolling backwards, which is not good, but again, try to dodge roll forward as a habit. And then here you want to taunt the sword and board and the 2-hander and put it on the Sun Eater as the off tank. What the fuck is this AoE? Again, dodge roll forward. Sun Eater's dead. I'm gonna have this archer come in as well. Keep paying attention to 2-hander. It can shatter you upon its last breath, so as it dies it can shatter you, which is pretty fucked up. Here, as the off tank, we're gonna get the render and the 2 overbrutes. And we're gonna stack it on this stack over here. Wherever the main tank stacks it, we're gonna stack it on the main tank. And here we're gonna make sure we bash the renders. We're gonna actually put a horn out, Lorkhaj, whatever. Okay, and then for this one, I'm gonna show you how I personally like stacking it. We saw how Atmos stacked it last run. I prefer waiting over here with the 2-hander, dodge rolling it, and then going out once the archer is over here. Personally, in my opinion, this is a little bit better because the archer isn't in a completely random location or against the wall. I don't know how I got shattered, but whatever. People are still shattering, so you guys gotta block the double spins here pretty soon. Atmos is gonna tank the other ads and taunt them. Block. Block. Should be good. Again, we're just basically doing the opposite of what we were doing last run. Alright, so even if you're the off tank or the main tank, same thing for this fight. Same stuff as we saw from the last run. I will be on the exit side this time, Atmos, just to show a perspective on Vashai a bit more. And we're just gonna divide our group.
We are suffering, recondite and eternal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more, I think.
My clan fear counts, right?
No, Harry Panzer, come over here. Alright. Same thing as before. 3, 2, 1. And here, you want your group to stack on the tank. Don't taunt the other boss yet. Once they start channeling, you taunt.
My war cry.
And then as you can see, we're gonna chain in the Dark Down. We don't want the DPS to stand behind the tank, because he's gonna negate the DPS. And as you notice, I stepped out to the right rather than to my left, because somebody is on my left, and you don't want him to negate the group. As you can see, we're still relatively close to the center. Makes transitions between color swaps faster.
Healer swapping. I'll heal the exit.
And they just want to keep doing this. Now, as mentioned last run, it is RNG as to how many negates he does. Looks like we might get 2 or 3 here. Just 2. We're gonna stay. And then we're gonna taunt Skin Rai this time. And notice again how I position Skin Rai compared to Vashai. He's gonna be close to the middle, and his back will be faced against the middle wall. And then we're gonna actually taunt these ads, and you can actually taunt their hitboxes as they spawn, so that gives you some more time. You wanna bash these ads, or inhale if you are a DK.
Healer staying.
They're swapping.
Looks like somebody had a really bad swap here. It was Raph. Or Aiden, I don't know which one. We should probably get the reses. Nice barrier. We're swapping. Rotate. Not... okay. Yeah. It's a pretty interesting run. But we're gonna keep tanking it. For some reason my res cancelled on Bob. Note where I am positioning Vashai. And here we're gonna have a little bit of a conundrum. After he negates you, you do have some time before he negates again. There is a certain cooldowns timer on it. Unfortunately, we can't seem to get the ad, but we can taunt it to move it closer to us, so we can chain it in eventually. So there you go. We are pretty close to the wall, which is not what you want. So it's pretty bad example. guys get the idea of taunting the wing. And we're just gonna burn skin around here. But yeah, pretty messy run, but you guys get the idea of trying not to put them up against the wall like a lot of tanks do. Just really fucks you. As you saw, I had to taunt the ad before chaining it at first. Ideally, I would have wanted them here, then here, rather than here, then here.
These twins were... Never mind. Just a few more verses, yes? Just a few.
So are you backing off of the Shy to get the Dark Ad to come to you?
Ideally, you want to... Oh shit. Ideally, focus the one on the ridges. Ideally, you want to chain in the ads from your right side, because again, as I mentioned earlier, you don't want to chain in from your left side because the group tends to be there. You don't want to negate the group. You can move forward, so, and you also have like maybe 5 seconds until he negates you again after the other negate. Oh shit, here we go.
So
yeah.
So chains will pull them.
Yes, chains will absolutely pull the ads.
Okay.
Unless they get CC'd.
They'll actually pull them to you. Okay, perfect. That's more what I want to do now.
Okay.
My heart.
And here we're just taunting the Tyrion. That's pretty much it. You focus. Fuck me, dude. I fucking hate push to talk. Anyway. Anyway, you don't want to get shattered like that. But you want to take the Tyrion for pretty much every wave here. We don't have a two-hander yet. We do have to block here pretty soon because people are shattering. Okay. There's a shatter. He just keeps stacking on the Sun Eaters here. Now, having an add-on makes it easier, but again, you can tap target to see the outline as well to see it better. I should just turn off the add-on. I'll just do it after this one. So here, taunt the two-hander, stack it on the Sun Eater because that is priority target. And the two-hander is almost dead. For this wave, you want to take both Sword and Boards because there's no two-hander, and stack it on to the Sun Eater. Maybe make a nice line here. You always want to think about how to stack things efficiently and really well as a tank. And third wave, as the off tank, you're going to taunt the two-hander here. Because there is a two-hander here somewhere. And stack it on the next Sun Eater spot. I think the main tank got the Sun Eater, which is fine because he knows how to dodge rolling.
My heart.
And that's pretty much it. I'm actually going to turn this off real quick. Just to show you guys without the add-on.
Yes, just a bit farther.
I'll actually turn that on just in case, because I want to know if I get shatter or not. Okay, so off tank, you take this two-hander on the right side and stack it on Sun Eater over here. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I did get shattered. And you want to put it on the next stack. Now, ideally, as the off tank, you want to take both two-handers here for the second wave and stack it on the first Sun Eater that people focus. I'm gonna do that right now. And then just want to pay attention to the first one that shatters you. Usually if you distance them long enough, they'll try to shatter you at the same time, but it's just a matter of noticing which one is going to shatter you first. And then you can dodge roll them successfully. Here you only have one two-hander. And you want to keep paying attention to the two-hander until it's done. And that's it. Alright, last boss as the off tank, and we're sort of on schedule. It's just, instead of positioning yourself on the pads as the main tank, it's a matter of positioning the Hulk in such a way that your main tank has a pretty easy life, and I'll explain that as we go along. Now, as pad 1 finishes, I like to taunt the Hulk and place it in the dots as people transition, so it gets maybe like 5 or 10% off of its max health. So that's a pretty easy way of getting free cleave at the start on the first Hulk. Because ideally you want people to cleave the Hulk down, not focus it. You want to focus Lorkhaj as a DPS, not the Hulk. And here we're just going to help keep up debuffs like Lorkhaj, whatever. Minor main Lorkhaj, whatever. Same thing. Now notice that Atmos is doing the exact same positioning as I did as the last run, when I did main tank. You don't have to break free from his CC as long as you're holding block. But really, it's just preference as to what you want to do as a main tank. So. And here I'm gonna, it's a lot of Storm-athras, holy shit. And I'm gonna taunt the Hulk. And then he's gonna be in this cleave here for a little bit. You're gonna get one shatter out of it usually. And he's gonna typically do a shout attempt, we bash it. You don't want to taunt the Hulk again, because again, over taunting is a pretty big issue for first timers here. And the main tank took the Hulk a bit too early. But we're gonna keep on the Hulk. He taunted back for some reason, I don't know. And we're just gonna have to let him get smashed twice, for whatever reason. And as you can see, if you have taunt on this two different things as the same person, they have collision, and this happens. You don't want this to happen. So hopefully we get the pad 5 here. What should have happened on pad 2 to pad 3 was what? That he takes the Hulk off of me after 2 smashes on me, not the other way around. You take the Hulk off of the main tank after 1 smash of the main tank. And 2 smashes off of the off tank. If you have nothing to do, you can just kite these meteors or help kite these meteors as the off tank.
My horn.
And you're just sort of waiting here for the Hulk. EPS is pretty high. Okay, so we're gonna taunt the Hulk. Again, same thing as on pad 1, free cleave. Dots are still here. We're gonna bash that. Comes out a little bit earlier in pad 1. We got 1 smash, which is fine. Now, as you expect the second smash, you want to draw him out a bit to the right of the main tank so he has an easy time to taunt the Hulk. As you can see, I'm not positioning the Hulk in such a way he's being obstructed by Lorkhaj's hitbox, which is pretty important. And after 1 smash on the main tank, we take it back. And it seems like we've got a pad 4 burn this time around, so I can't really show you guys what happens after this, but it's the same concept over and over until pad 8 or 7. If you get 2 Hulks like this, you have the other tank take the other Hulk and keep a check on it. And that's pretty much it. That's how you off tank it. Do you guys have any questions about off tanking this place? You did? You taunted it on pad 1, or pad 2 at this. After my smash. I only had one smash.